Fred from the Big R Fly Shop, serving up your fly of the week. This is a little pattern we call the Bandit. It's got raccoon fur in the head, which gives it a great profile, a little bit of action in the water. It's works both as a minnow imitation or a sculpin, and I love to fish this fly on the swing in the wintertime and actively stripping it in the summer through riffles and so forth for aggressive fish. It's one of my favorites. For materials, we're going to start with our Dairiki 710 size, what do we got, 4? Got some real eyes. Little gold variant rabbit strips. Some chartreuse angel hair. And the Bandit, the fin raccoon. Going to start with our thread base of 210, just using some good old brown thread here. Just spin that baby down the hook. This takes forever when you're watching on film, I know. I lost my scissors already. Okay, we're going to bring that back up, and I'm going to leave myself a pretty good space here behind the eyes, or in front of the eyes, which I'm about to attach right here. Do about a dozen wraps, and then I'm going to come back the other way, and as I wrap I'm going to be straightening those eyes on the shank, however many wraps that takes, and they're locked down pretty firm. I'm going to go another half dozen wraps on this side. You could apply a drop of Zap-A-Gap, but those suckers are pretty solid. So take my thread back to the end of the hook. I've got my bunny strip prepped and ready to tie in here. Attaching that upside down, since with the dumbbell eyes this thing is going to rotate. Get that firmly on the hook. Then I'm going to pull out my angel hair flash material. I'm going to grab a little cluster of this, and I'm just going to fold it over my thread and just run it right into my tying point. Wrap forward over that, and that will keep that from getting tugged out. And we're going to trim that about the length of the tail. Run my thread back up to the top, right behind the eyes, and then we're just going to palmer this bunny fur. Just going to run that right up behind the eyes and tie her off. I like to have a rotating vise because then I can flip it over. Trim off my tag. Clean that up just a little bit. And we are now ready for the fun part. Now for the fun part. I'm going to take a bodkin or needle or whatever you've got. I'm just going to split this thread, and that creates an instant dubbing loop. Slide my raccoon in there. And I'm going to take my scissors and cut the hide off. And you can spread that out on the thread just a little bit. Then we're just going to spin our bobbin, and that becomes a dubbing twister. Grabbed a little hair in there, but that's no big deal. And do that a few times. Sometimes you got to kind of tug on it to get it to open up. We've basically created a beautiful little dubbing brush with our material. Now I'm just going to wrap behind the eyes and then go ahead and figure 8. And if I've got enough material, I can come forward and get a couple turns right off the eye of the hook. And there we go. I'm just going to whip this off with my fingers. Alright, now don't be alarmed. This fly isn't quite complete. We're going to tidy this head up a little bit with a brush. Just kind of comb it back. If you need to take your bodkin and pick out a little material as well, that will do the job. Kind of get underneath that hair and pull it out. And eventually it will all flow. And there you have the finished fly, the bandit. The bandit is a fly that will move large trout considerable distances. Oh, shop trout, restrain yourself.